Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Ntando and your comfort Sabi. So guys, in today's video I'll be sharing with you 22 lessons at 22 years, and I have a list of actually 23 lessons. I'm at home guys, so sorry for any background noises. So I have 23 lessons that I've written down, and I'm going to share with you what I've learned. Some of them I'm still learning, some of them I just found out few days or weeks ago with him. This is actually a lesson that I need to learn. So the first one is pray hard. This means that in any situation that you are, whether you're happy, sad, you need to pray. You have to pray. And when you pray, you do not always have to pray to ask name. That's not a good thing. You know, you need to pray to say, God, I am thankful for what I have today. You just need to pray for being alive, having certain things in your life, and then you can pray when you are in need. Not saying Guti, do not pray when you are in need, but have a combination of both. Guti, you pray when you are in need, and you pray when you give thanks. You pray for others as well, because that's very important. Also I've learned Guti, when you pray, you need to talk to God as if He is here with you. He is actually alive, a human being, so that you can be able to pour out your heart to Him. And also prayer doesn't necessarily have to be you kneeling down and praying, but also using your heart only. You can literally pray and ask or give thanks to God, and you can pray at any time, anywhere. You are walking in the road, you are sitting in a bus, anywhere, at any time. Prayer is important, and I cannot say that enough. I know that most of the people learn to pray at a very young age. Sunday school, that's the first place some people learn. So I know for a fact that everyone knows this. And yeah, the second one is love yourself. No one will love you more than you can love yourself. And you do not need other people to love you in order for you to love yourself. You have to love what you have. You have to love what you do not have. You have to love certain parts of your body. You have to love certain things about you, because that makes you different. That makes you stand out in a crowd with, oh, okay, you have this and that and that, and you have to love that about yourself. There are certain things that you cannot do in life. There are certain strengths that you do not have. You have to love that about yourself. I know for a fact I can do 1 2 3, and I cannot do that 4 5 6, but I love myself regardless of that. So love yourself is an important lesson. I know that some people struggle with loving themselves, but just stand in the mirror and look out to the things that other people do not have, or the things that when you look at your eyes you can see with you know. So learn to love yourself, because that's important. The third one is accepting yourself. Well, I feel like loving yourself and accepting yourself is almost the same thing. When you accept yourself, you accept Guti, I can do this and I cannot do that, and that's okay. You know, Guti, I have these strengths and these are my weaknesses. So you have to accept yourself with those weaknesses. Which I cannot do certain things, and I know for a fact Guti, things that I cannot do, there are people who are going to come to me and help me. Sometimes they come into your life to fill parts of you that you do not have. Yeah? Sometimes you do not even have to ask, or you do not even ask for that help. It just happens in J. So you have and need to accept yourself for who you are, what you have and what you do not have. There are people who do not or who find it hard to accept themselves because they are in different situations than others. Maybe they are less fortunate and things like that. You have to accept yourself. I know that with being in certain situations, having to experience certain things, it's very hard to accept the way you are, but you have to, because there are certain parts that you have to go through in order to be a better person, or in order to grow. So if you accept yourself, then that's a start. That's actually a very good start to you, that will lead you into loving yourself, because you have accepted, I can do this, I cannot do this, therefore I love myself for that. The third one is have confidence in yourself. This is straightforward, cannot explain it any further. Have confidence in yourself. Yeah. Make your own choices. This is the fifth lesson that I've learned. You do not have to rely on people to make choices for you. You have to make choices for yourself, because this life is yours and no one else. And if you rely on people making choices for you, then that's not a very good thing. So make your own choices so that you can be happy with the things that you choose, things that you allow into your life, the things that you do not allow, so that you will not have regret. Make your own choices and do not allow anyone to influence the choices that you make for your life, because at the end of the day, this thing is about you and you alone, no one else. Lesson number 6, you will never please everyone. You will never. That's straightforward, and you have to accept that. There are certain people that will not be pleased by the things that you do for them, by the things that you say, so you have to be okay. Lesson number 7, it is never too late to chase your dreams, and no dreams are unreachable. It is straightforward again. I feel like this lesson is like straightforward. So by this, I would give an example whereby you have been in class with certain people, let's say from primary up until grade 12, and then after matric they go to varsity, abanye college, abanye they find their talents and things like that, so they use their hands to go on in life. And when you feel like you're stuck, or you feel like things are slow for you or going slow for you, one thing that I will tell you is that it is never too late to chase your dreams, because some people find themselves at the age of 40, 35. That's when one person would know, oh, actually this is what I can do to make a living, so it is never too late, and keep trying until you find something that is for you and that will work for you. Lesson number 8, take risks. Take a risk in life, because you would never know. Like, you will literally never know. When you take risks, you step out of your comfort zone. You do things that you've never thought you would do before, and by doing that you realize and discover, oh, actually I have this strengths, I have this abilities, I have these skills. So taking risk, it is very important in life, because you cannot go anywhere without taking a risk. And that's that on that. Lesson number 8, help where you can. Help where you can. By this I mean you are going to need another person to help you. Even if it's a stranger, you will need the help someday, somewhere. So if you are in a situation where you see what you can help another person, please do help that person, because you do not know when will you need that kind of help, and when will there be time where you are like desperately in need of help. So help where you can. Lesson number 10, be open to forgiving. Well, this is a very difficult lesson that I've had to learn not so long ago, because there are people who do certain things to you, and you have to forgive them at the end of the day. And forgiving them does not mean that you have to allow them back into your life. No, you can forgive them and move on with your life. And being open to forgiving means that you see Uguti, now you're not perfect, now you are a human being, you make mistakes, you say things out of your emotions that you never thought you would say, you do things that you've never imagined yourself doing. So being open to forgiveness shows that you're a human being, and people do make mistakes, and now you would want to be forgiven someday, somewhere. Lesson number 11, listen to your instincts. Yeah? If something seems wrong, it is possibly wrong, and I've learned to acknowledge the voice inside me that always seems to know what's up, and that's made a lot of differences. So there has been situations where I would ignore that voice. So don't do this, don't say this, and I would exactly do that or say that, and I would find myself in trouble. and I'll be like, I should have listened to this voice in me. So if you are in a group of people and you feel like I kind of do not belong here, or a certain person walks in your body suddenly, just know that there's something wrong, and deal with that as soon as possible. Lesson number 12: if you can't change it, deal with it. It doesn't make sense to make a seemingly negative experience even more negative about complaining about it. Turn it into something good, because there's a quote that says some people feel the rain and others get wet. So if you can't change a situation, you have to deal with it so that you cannot come across it at the certain time, or as you move forward. So if you can't change it, deal with it. I don't even know how to explain it, but I feel like it's straightforward. If you cannot change a certain situation, you have to deal with it at that present time and moment. Lesson number 12: know your triggers. Well, this I've learned it actually a couple of days or a week ago. I did not know that I have certain triggers about certain situations or conversations. When I saw this as a lesson, I thought, good, nah, I'm okay, I do not have any triggers, until I was in a situation where I had a conversation, and this conversation I had it with someone that I know was in my comfort zone, or was in my comfortable place, but it triggered me to a point that I couldn't even hear what the person that I was with was saying most of the time, because I was like, oh shit, this is something that I do not want to actually talk about, this is something that I do not want to even think about. That's when I realized, see, this is actually a trigger, and I have to work on it. I have to want to know more and understand why is it a trigger. So know your triggers, and by this it simply means you have to understand yourself, understand the type of a person that you are, the type of situations, people, or things that literally trigger you into becoming another person, whether you be emotional and all of that. So understand yourself, know what triggers you, and know what situations brings out the worst in you. Number 14: respect. Well, I feel like this one is straightforward and doesn't need much more elaboration on it. So by respect, I mean give respect so that you can get it. Respect me so that I can respect you, whether you are older than me or younger than me. Respect is end. But also there are situations, or there are times where a certain somebody will not give you the respect that you actually want, or the respect that's actually the right one for you. I don't know how to say it, but yeah, there are times like that, and when you are in situations like that, you have to take it. You have to stand your ground and say, no, you are wrong in this situation, you have to respect me. As much as respect is earned, sometimes you have to take it. I actually seen this from another YouTuber who was doing a similar video about lessons, and she said she was in a situation in Ghana where she was disrespected, and she stood her ground and said, you have to respect me. So sometimes respect, it is not earned, but you have to take it. Lesson number 15: you do not have to have your stuff together, meaning you do not have to have everything figured out now. So I've seen that being in your 20s is putting pressure on a lot of people, because now it's the time where you should be graduating, working, probably, you have to have your life sorted out. You have to know which step am I taking next, of which is something that's not true. People find themselves like later on in life, not now. So you do not have to have everything perfect at this time. You're still learning, you're going to make mistakes. So do things, do them properly, and do them in a nice pace. Take your time, do not rush just because now you're at an age where people are working, people are graduating, so now you want to keep up. No, you do not have to have everything figured out yet at this point, or at this age. Lesson number 16, you shouldn't have regrets. Well, I had this conversation with my boyfriend not so long ago, and I was saying to him, don't you have regrets about the things that had happened in your life or the certain people that you've met? And she said no. And I was like, and I told him, with him, nah, I do care. Simply because there are people that made me feel like I'm not good enough. And he was like, actually, if you did not go through that, you wouldn't have that lesson now. So having regrets, it means uthi when you're saying this lesson is not good, or you shouldn't have went through this. So whatever that you've went through in life, whatever disappointments, failure, or the wrong people that I've met that have hurted you, taken advantage of you, that's because there was a lesson that needed to be learned. And because now you know uthi situations like this, people like this would do 1 2 3 to me, you would take yourself out from that situation as soon as you realize uthi this will not work. So having regrets is a big no. Lesson learned in 2022. Lesson number 17, you do not have to explain anything to anyone at any time of your life. So this, I would make an example. When you have to say no to someone, you do not have to explain to that person good why you say no. Say no and it ends there. You do not have to explain anything, because at the end of the day, it's your life and you know why you had to say no. So you do not have to explain anything to anyone about anything that happens in your life. Lesson number 18 is a lesson that I actually learned this year also, that time is not money. People say time is money, what, but in actual fact, time is not money. You lose money and you can get it back, right? But when you lose time, it's gone and gone forever. Therefore, time and money, they are not equal. So this thing of saying time is money is actually not. So you have to choose what do you want to lose, your time or your money. 19, intelligence is overrated, talent is also overrated. So there are actually 3 things that you need in life: as passion, vision, and commitment. Passion, it is grown. You do not have it at the get-go. It grows as you grow. A vision, it is not seeing into the future, but making the future happen the way that you want it to happen. And commitment, it is the very important, or the core of these 3 things, because it, I don't know, but it brings them together, or it's like lento ebambile izinto lezi. And then lesson number 20, life isn't always fair and you have to be fine with that. Okay, so if life was to be fair, according to me, it would mean that you won't be going through certain things, you will not experience certain situations. It will be fair, you know, no crying, no stress, no pressure. It's fair and fair. So life being fair, you won't learn anything. Life being fair, you won't experience things. So life being unfair, I feel like it's actually something. It's not always fair. It will never be fair always, and we have to be okay with that, because life being not fair makes things happen the way that they do. You learn things because of life not being fair. You have lessons, you have experiences. Now you know how to act when you are in this particular situation, you know. So life not being fair gives us certain things in life. Lesson number 21, patience is learned. You learn how to be patient. That's it. It's not something that you're born with. You have to learn to be patient, because there are situations, there are people that will make you learn how to be patient. Lesson number 22, there is no shame in quitting. Full stop. If you feel like quitting, quit, my darling, because if you continue doing something that you absolutely see it won't help you, it won't bring out anything to you, then what's the point? They say winning people quit all the time, but they know which time to quit, or at which time to quit and move on. So the lesson is, if you never try, you would never know. This feels or is kind of the same as taking risk, because if you take a risk, you're going to get out of your comfort zone, going to try something that you've never thought you would do. So if you do not try, you'd never know what you have, those qualities, you have this uniqueness, you have this strengths. So trying out will bring out the best and the best in you. But if you do not try, you would never know. So yeah guys, these are the lessons that I've learned. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do not forget to comment, like, share and subscribe to my channel. Turn your post notifications on so that you can get notified whenever I post a new video. And don't forget to follow me on all my social media platforms. Facebook, I am Ntando. TikTok, I'm _Ntando_K. Also on Instagram. Bye.